All right, what's up, everybody? It is Cowboy, and it is June 13th, and it is 9:30 a.m. Is it? No, that's not right. It's 8:30 a.m. EST. Sorry, I'm in my computer's time zone thing is a little funky. Apologies for being out yesterday. I did make the announcement that I would be out yesterday, and just had a personal matter to handle. And as much of a machine as I am, where I go almost every day, I am a human, and humans have personal things to handle. So let's go ahead and jump right into the charts. Give me a second to bring the screen up. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. If you're in the YouTubes, say something in the comments. Okay. Doing have a bit of a screen fit issue, but that's just going to be what it is. If you'll see on the top right-hand corner, the QR code, you can zap that QR code or just go to algofactory.tech to find out more about what we do. And we'll get into that towards the end of this YouTube and Rumble, etc. presentation. All right. So if you all will remember, a lot of people were concerned that Bitcoin was going to fall below about 66,700. You had this let me back up a little bit here. You had this months long consolidation price going back and forth basically between 60,850 or 60,800 all the way up to roughly 72,000. And that goes back to March. And this is just post halving sort of doldrums, right? We have the actual halving right here. And usually there is a pullback during the halving. That pullback was comparatively brief. Halving was in late April. The bottom so far was at the end of April. So, or I should say the beginning of May, really, either way. So it was a pretty quick dip, and then price has just maintained above that 56,500 dip ever since. Now, it doesn't mean it won't go back down there, but historically, Bitcoin would dip and then head back up. And sometimes it'll dip right before the halving, and sometimes it'll dip right after. But the thing about the halving is there's not a lot of data. The halving is, and Bitcoin itself is a new thing. So we don't have a bunch of data points on which we can base a thesis. Give me 1 second. Got a little bit of allergies there. Pardon me for a second. I'm just going to mute the microphone for a moment. All right. I know it's that time of year where sometimes I get allergies. The last couple of years, I haven't gotten them. My wife has really done a good job of fixing me, if you will. But sometimes they hit. It's just super humid right now. And I think that might have something to do with it, causing all that pollen to come out. All the plants realize that it's springtime, and it's almost summer. Anyway, so here we are. Bitcoin now popped out, consolidating towards the top of this. I did a show, I think on what is today? Thursday. So I think it was Monday when I talked about how this entire consolidation is following really, really well the Wyckoff cycle, Wyckoff, however you say it. And there is usually a consolidation towards the top before a breakout. And I do think the most probable thing to happen is going to be a breakout. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to take some peppermint oil that tends to stop the scratching in the back of the throat. I'm going to take a second here. Oh man, that is strong. Okay. That peppermint oil is so strong, I could kiss a dragon and survive. Okay, so here we are with Bitcoin. Look, last week we were talking, and I think it was even Monday or Tuesday we were talking, and a lot of Algo Factory members were thinking that price would dive below this area, but it was either Monday or Friday that I did say a lot of range traders would simply go long at this area, and those that did made it at least to their first profit taking point, this midpoint right here. And so going long right at the bottom, like I said a few days ago, you got to have balls of solid rock to do that. But those who did profited from it. And I did say that was probably going to happen. Now, again, I wasn't around, I wasn't available to actually take this trade. Once it popped up a little bit, my algos would have said that it was okay to take that trade. I wouldn't get quite as good of an entry as a range trader, but I have rules. So I don't know, maybe I should flip to being a range trader. We'll see. The risk to reward for range traders is so good because all they do is they just like, hey, it's bottom of a range, I'm taking it. Like there's no conversation, there's no algos, there's no indicators. They just take the trade. And provided that they have a good stop loss, then they take good trades. And this one, just going to the midpoint, depending on their stop loss, which I imagine would be, down here somewhere, would have given them like a 1.5 to 1, maybe a 2 to 1, but they might have waited for that wick. And if they did, then they might have gotten a nicer risk to reward. But in the end, that's to the midpoint. If they had planned for price to go all the way up to the top, then they're sitting easily at a 2.5 to 1, even with a decently conservative stop loss. So again, it's that's one way to trade. And I know some very, very successful traders that a lot of us in here actually know as well who trade that way. It's a good way to go. So what's going to happen over the next several days? Let's take a look at the algos. Okay, so still a little bit bearish. So it looks to me like right now, just right now, high time frame on Bitcoin is almost always bullish, like super high time frame. Just you're talking about an asset that is one cycle high is 600, and then the next is like 20,000, and so high time frame's always going to be hyper bullish. But this sort of daily looks like price is going to, as I did say a few days ago, possibly meander around here. Give me a moment to fix that. Whatever. So at any rate, like this, it'll either pop up or it might pop down. It still could, right? Now that range trade did work out, but under any circumstance, it could easily pop down instead of up. It's very possible. Gorilla, how are you doing, sir? Via the Gorilla, speak or forever hold your peace. You're muted, by the way.
Oh, that's better. I was saying namaste.
Namaste. How are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well. How is it you?
Good. On a little bit different of equipment. Some not
You sound
as
crystal clear.
you good. Yeah, I'm using a different microphone too, so I'm not as deft as I can be with the keys. But either way, still making it happen.
Yes.
So we're just talking about Bitcoin. Right now, it's either going to bounce up from this low, like the range traders would do, like we talked about a couple days ago. A lot of people just went long right there and they profited, or it's going to meander about here, go down to grab some liquidity, maybe down at 63,700. And V, I know you have a unique view on this. Do you want to flip over to the private group and share that view?
Yes, I want to share all my views.
Well, and just for the audience out there on YouTube, just so you understand, V the Gorilla, if you don't know already, he does massive deals around the world, multi-million dollar deals in Bitcoin. He helps to buy it, he helps to sell it, and when you deal with people at the level at which he's dealing, you have all of the money in the world to have all the best analysts to know what Bitcoin and gold are doing. So once we flip over to the private live lab, V the Gorilla is going to go ahead and tell us what that very moneyed view is, and that moneyed view is very, very often, and a lot of it, V, it's just a lot of it's your own data. It's not just other people's data. Via the Gorilla, you're an excellent analyst.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump over 99,
like 90 some odd percent of it is my own data.
Yeah, and you don't hear V talking about like indicators or none of that. V just has his own deal.
Correct. And I'm also a fry cook at McDonald's. And
I thought you were a dancer over at Best Buy.
That's my other night job. I'm a dancer at Best Buy. After
Best
hours, they shut it down, and I do interpretive dance by home theater. That's what I do. You know,
Like gorilla going around, like doing these like super airy arm moves. Like you're. This is my remote control dance. I am a remote control.
oh man,
I am a home theater. This is my theater.
yeah, yep.
That's great, bro. Interpretive dance at Best Buy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, what do you say, V? Let's get over and let's get that
Yeah, let's get over
gorillas.
to let's get over to the private chat. And what Cowboy said is here's a skinny. Being on the institutional side of things, I see a lot of what's going on, and a lot of things that I talk about in the private group become reality in weeks or months later. You'll see it happen. Why? Because it's already decided in the boardrooms what direction the market is going to take. That's the type of intel that's shared here on algofactory.tech, and it's not shared anywhere. So with that being said, Cowboy, let's get into it. Join us or die, people. $1.66 a day.
Join us or die.